Good morning, welcome to today's RC Coffee Chat. This is where me and you, we sit down, we enjoy a cuppa and just chat RC. Brilliant. So if this is your first time here, welcome aboard. If it's not your first time here, then you got your coffee ready, you got your tea ready, maybe you got a beer, doesn't matter. Welcome aboard. Right, on to today's topics, and a quick note, those of you are brilliant. Thank you everybody in the live chat, which you can see above my head, saying the sound is good. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Right, I have got loads of topics for today's RC Coffee Chat because we didn't do yesterday's. So topic number one is I've got some bad news for you. You'll find out what that is in a moment. Number two is some Towerpro Servos. I know I covered them last night in the live mail session, but I am going to pause and recover them today. Steve's if you can remember from Monday, Steve's terrible state of the X8. Well, he got it repaired, and I can tell you that he had a cracking time. No, literally had a cracking time, and not the type of crack which you're thinking of. We had the live mail session last night. That will be worth a quick note. Oh yeah, there's a video which you must watch. Absolutely must watch. It's completely hilarious. What else we got into today's RC Coffee Chat? A proven fact! Now this is now proven. It's just like being red, the fastest colour. We will get to that one in a minute. Oh, a serious topic of import duty as well, which we can see up on the screen right now. Not good. We will discuss that one in a few moments. For Jake, who's on the chat this morning, we will be having a chat about the little mini rainbow wing as well. A very quick overview to mine. And, oh yes, it is actually for the men out there like myself, which have just realised, oh fuck, it's Valentine's Day. There is a special vote. Now, those of you which are watching on the live version, in the top right-hand corner, there is a special vote up there, which we will take a look at in shortly. We most likely, now, finger crossed, legs crossed, thumbs crossed. We may have a very, very, very special guest with us today. If we do, we are going straight into live mode with no warning. I mean that. There'll be no warning if that turns up. A massive thank you to Andrew. We'll find out what that is shortly. And to be frankly honest, we don't have a nuts were right or which is better section to today's RC Coffee Chat because I was busy trying to write up notes which I've put in here today. But we will go back and revisit the vote from Monday as well. Now, with that said, let's go across to Shout Out Corner. Now, this is a little section which I really actually enjoy. I just want to say good morning. I want to say thank you to you turning up with me today for today's RC Coffee Chat. So, with that said, let me scroll up the chit chat. So, good morning, Brian. Good morning, James. Good morning, Jake. Good morning, dang this stupid password. Good morning, Olin. Good morning, Henry. Good morning, Lauren. Good morning, Jamie. Scrolling down. Who have I missed? Bleakist. Good morning. Riff is checking in. Good morning, sir. Oh, good evening, sir. Sorry, I realised when you're on the opposite side of the pond. Good morning, Marco. Good morning. Scrolling down. Phil. I can see you in there. Henry. Steve. Christian. Good morning. Kev. Good morning. Sick. Good morning. Good morning, Jim. Good morning, 7 Demo 7, aka Jeff, is with us live this morning. And Hilbert, good morning. Now, oh, Brian, I think I missed you as well. Now, obviously, if you're in the live version, say hello in the chat, which is on the right-hand side of your screen. If there is no chat box, just refresh your screen and it will be there. And obviously, if you're watching the recorded version, then say howdy down in the comment section underneath this video. So, with that said, let's get into Find My Mouse. Let's get into topic number one now. I want to get the bad news over and done with first. In short, I'm actually travelling tomorrow. I've got a 3-hour train journey north from Bristolia to Mancunia to go and meet up with Dave, my business partner, and a colleague to chat about work all day. So tomorrow I will not be around. My train is at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I've got an awful lot of travelling to get done tomorrow. So apologies, I'm giving you advance warning. There is no RC Coffee Chat tomorrow. Also, apologies for yesterday as well. To be brutally honest, I left my phone in my office yesterday overnight, so I had no alarm clock to wake me up in the morning. So apologies for that. And I slept for like 11 hours. I kid you not, I went to bed at 7 and I woke up at 8. I must have needed the sleep, to be honest. But on the bright side, that does bring us into some much cooler topics, such as Thursday. Thursday is going to be a maiden day, and I kid you not, I have got 5 new models. Well, I've got 5 models here which need to be maidened. One of them needs to be remaidened, which is the TBRC Apex wing, because some monkey launched it on high rates, and it was a bit wild. To say the least, which I'm sure most of you have probably already seen in the FaceBalls group, was not good to say the least. No, it's not. It's not the slow train. It's just 3 hours on a train. That's what it is. It's 3 hours in the car as well. It's well, to be honest, I'm taking the train. I can sit there in the window. I can code. They bring me coffee and food and chocolate. Oh, I love trains. Anyway. Let's get ourselves back onto topic. Right. I did cover this in last night's live mail session, but I am going to pause to do it again this morning. I did read in another Facebook group, and I'd like to call out BS on this, about the Towerpro Servos containing plastic gears. Now, that many of you know, which if you saw last night's live mail session, I'm reworking the Phantom FX61, which is an amazing wing, and I could talk for hours about, so I'm redoing her, so I've swapped the servos over. One of the servos, when I was pulling it out, I pulled the wires a bit hard and it was a bit ropey, so I just chopped the wire off. And then I got the screwdriver out and took it apart, and this is what we can see on my screen right now. Now, I already know that my head is going to be in the way, so let me remove me. And what we can see here is, number one, note the metal bushing. We'll have a little closer look at that. We'll see that we've got metal gears in here, even a metal pinion, which comes out the top of the servo too. The only piece of plastic which we've got in here as far as the gears go is the stopper, which is on the bottom of the main servo doodah. That is a technical term. It is called a doodah on there. And that's the only plastic piece, which is the stopper, which is whatever. But it does make... I do rate these Towerpro servos. They are cheaper than the cheap Hobby King plastic ones, and they work great for normal models. Obviously, if you've got a model which is going to be going over 100 miles an hour, or you're going to be doing crazy stuff with, then they're probably not the best servos. But for a slow stick, just like normal models, in inverted commas, they're going to be perfectly fine. And that piece which I wanted to point out, if you look closely on there, you will see there's even a metal bushing for the, for the gears to go up through as well. Super good quality and super cheap as well. So I call BS on that one. They are really good and they're super cheap, and that is exactly the reason why I use them. By the way, they're not completely indestructible. I have broken a fair few of them, but they have all been in the extremes, with one exception, which was one which I put on the servo tester and it didn't sound right, and because it only cost me like £1.80, I was thinking, in my head I was thinking like £1.80, broken model, ripped the lead off, stuffed it in the bin, and I've had one duffer out of goodness knows how many of them. I must be into the 90s of these servos now. They are very, very, very good in deal. James, very good deal. James says stopper is plastic, so you can remove it and turn it into a 360 servo. I didn't realise that one. Happy days. Let's have a quick look. Matt, make a little travel video log for tomorrow. Yeah, could do. Could do indeed. Right. Oh yeah, just completely off topic. I went into, we had the live mail session last night, and apologies, it was an hour and 20 long. I was chatting to the wife, and she said, well, we did let you know that the kids were going to bed. I said, I know, but we were doing a mail session. It kind of went on for like an hour and 18 minutes. And she said, yeah, I think I think I talk too much. And the wife and granny looked at me, you talk too much? Right, I will try and remain on topic. Right, Steve X8. So we saw Steve's X8 in a horrific state on Monday. Now, Steve has been on and fixed it, but then this video is... Whoa, that's loud. I need you to take a quick look, and it will only be a quick look. Steve had a cracking time with his new model, and good news is that it does fly. Now, the video to that is in the Facebook group, and apparently she does still fly. Yes, Joe, Matt, talk too much? No. Don't know where that came from. Slanderous. Right, on to topic number 4, and like I said, I'm doing my best to chew through the topics today. Topic number 4 is we had a live mail session last night, and I'd said it last night, but I'm going to say it again today. The primary reason behind the mail episodes is because we can find out together what is good and what is not so good. And thankfully, there's not too much kit out there which is not too good. But there are exceptions when it is not too good, like that DVR-A3 camera, which is just don't buy one. It's too hot, it's laggy, and the video quality on its pants. Fine for a slower model, something like an AXN where you don't need to be particularly responsive, something nice and floaty, great. But anything more than that, you would be far better off getting a TX03. So there are exceptions to the rule. Most stuff is good, but sometimes stuff is not so good. What else did we have in the mail session last night? Oh, I got all my Micro Skyhunter parts. I do love that model absolutely loads. I know some other people don't like it, but for me, it's been an absolutely brilliant little FPV platform, and this model is definitely going in the models that like the models for 50 quid or less series, because it's now earned its right to be in there. Absolutely brilliant model. When I broke it, I just went home and bought the other parts. I've got booms here, I've got elevator fins, I've got 2 sets of wings here as well. Brilliant little model. Best 30 something quid I've ever spent on a model. It is great. Absolutely brilliant little model. So yeah, if you haven't tried a Micro Skyhunter yet, go and get yourself one. You just genuinely will not be disappointed. Joe says AXNs rock, especially inverted. Yeah, absolutely. Henry makes a point. DVR3, good for rear-facing cam. Yep, so that you don't have to look at it through the goggles. Good morning, Raj, by the way. Good morning. Right. And I'm just keeping an eye on the chat as well. Right, on to topic number 5. Which, do I have this? Oh, no, that's... Oh, by the way, that's the results from the votes from Steve's vote on the X8 the other day, from Monday. That was the Martin's new landing attempt. Steve's X8 landing won the vote with his landing, because that was one horrific landing which he had. Now, where did I get... I haven't put that video on. Naughty Matt. Naughty Matt. Let me go and get the link. Now, this is one to watch afterwards. I will pop a link in the chat, and I'll pop it on the screen as well. Just give me a moment. And I watched this in bed, and I just laughed my boobies off, to be frankly honest. This is definitely one for you to watch afterwards. There are 2 timestamps which you need to be aware of. The first one is 6 minutes 20, and all I'm going to say is duck for that. And it's 10 minutes 12 as well. Also, duck too. Those guys are absolutely crazy, to say the least. Absolutely crazy. So there's some extra video footage for you to watch after this episode. Those guys are absolutely bonkers. Really bonkers. On to our next topic, which is, yes, it is now become a proven fact that if you press refresh a million times on, where is it? There was the one I was chatting about last night. Well, I must have had it on one of these tabs. Apologies. My cursor has scrolled somewhere. There we go. So you may have seen in the Facebook group that I took a screenshot of some tracking information. And yes, it does look like it is a proven fact that the more times you press refresh on the tracking page of any courier website, is that they do appear to add 10 seconds to the delivery time, because there is a very, very special guest on the way to me right now. But it went AWOL for 8 days. That's 8 whole days. It went AWOL in the United Kingdom of wetness. I don't know. But the good news is I checked the tracking, which is that one there. And yes, it's on its way. So happy days. It's in the Bristol Mail Centre. Brilliant. Brilliant. Let's have a quick look. What's the next topic? I didn't actually put this in my notes. There is I'm not going to say new model, because this model has been out once before. In fact, it's been out at least once before. There's a Skywalker Falcon FPV wing. Now, they've labelled it as FPV wing, but it's not specifically designed for FPV, if that makes sense. The reason why we know it's not specifically designed for FPV, where is our mounting, lads? It's just a flying wing which can't carry a lot of payload. If you look at the previous reviews of this one from 2015, from 2014, and I think it came out in 2013, is that it's a very stable platform. Let's not knock it for that one, but it wasn't specifically designed for FPV. So I think what's actually happened is that the mold's been got out, dusted off, and a load of more of these have been made. And they've now labelled it up as an FPV flying wing. The payload capacity is not great on it. Do look on YouTube to see what's kicking around for it. There's loads of reviews of this model out. But on the bright side, it's showing as £37.50 on my screen right now. So that's not bad value for a flying wing. But if you were really after a flying wing, then the Reptile S800 Sky Shadow would be perhaps a better choice, because you can fit a decent sized battery in it, and it's designed for FPV. And as I've proven by flying it into several trees, and one of them extremely fast as well, the Sky Shadow is extremely robust as well. Yeah, new wings come out. Next topic which we have is import duty, and we all feel it for James. James got a €85.55 bill for some items which he ordered from Banggood. Now, what I would like to do is take away a positive from the situation. So obviously that is really crappy, James. Definitely sorry to hear that. But on a specific point, when you're ordering from abroad, is that instead of trying to cram everything into your cart and then making one great big order and then getting it sent via courier, like FedEx in this example, or another one, which they are pretty good on getting their import taxes sorted on, is break that order into multiple pieces. When you're in the shopping cart on Banggood, you just untick all the items, or there's a master untick switch, and then just pay for each item individually. Yes, that does mean that you're going to end up with lots and lots of separate packages, but on the flip side, the likelihood of you getting slapped with import tax on each of those individual packages is an awful lot less. With a courier, you're almost guaranteed to get hit with import tax. Okay, and let's be fair here, paying import tax isn't really an issue. It's fair. That's what happens. Okay, it's the couriers charging 8-12 quid for the invoice which they send you. It's just ridiculous. So to negotiate that challenge is do order in separate pieces. And you'll see me, like yesterday's mail session, all those parts, I could have ordered them all up in one order. But no, I elect to buy stuff in smaller packets because it's less. Well, number one, you're going to more likely to be underneath the import threshold, which here in the United Kingdom is approximately 20 quid, give or take a pound or two. It just makes more sense because you're not likely to get slapped for import tax. And when you do, like I recently did with another order, I had to pay, what was it? £14, I think, of which £8 was the Royal Mail charge as well. So yeah, it's for Brian's just put in the chat as well. £13.50 for parcel farce. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Yeah, do order. Again, if you've ever been hit with import tax before, do break your orders into smaller pieces. Yes, it does mean that you've got to pay like 10 times or something like that. But for a few seconds extra on the website, in your gym jams, ordering stuff, it saves a lot of pain, potentially a lot of pain later. So let's all take away something positive from James's experience there. Right, the next topic is the mini rainbow wing. Now this is for Jake and also Richard if you watch this episode too. I'm just going to give you a quick overview on the little rainbow wing. These are about $18. I think they've literally just gone back up by $2 in price. I love my little rainbow wing. It's not mental, it's not stupidly fast, but it's such a small wing, I can chuck it round in a gap which is no more than 50 meters with high points on either side out the front of the house. So it's not a wing to be overpowered, but it is a great wing just to chuck around in a small space. So I'm going to quickly take you through the details of mine, Jake. So number one, you'll notice that I'm using a carbon rod on the Elevon. That gave it more authority. Also, you may already notice that I've got two little control horn bottoms on there because I put the first ones in the wrong place. The control horns which you get provided are utter rubbish, so you want to use the decent ones for that. They're super cheap and whatever. Just don't use the supplied ones because they're crap. There's no other words for it. On the topic of the Elevons, what I've had to... Sorry, I've just hit the mic. What I've had to do is, what you'll most likely need to do as well, is in the seam, is that what I've done, I've got with a craft knife, is very, very gently and gingerly with a ruler drag the knife down because the hinges were just too thick for the little servos. And I've had to do that on both sides. In one place I've actually gone through the foam. That will give you an indication on how close I got with the cutting on the Elevon, but that has made a massive difference to its agility in the sky. For the motor, I'm using a Hobby King 1612 3200 kV motor. Yes, they are not the cheapest motors in the world, but they are super small, super light, and powerful enough for this model, and then some. I'm using a little 50-30 prop, which do take the time to go and balance them as well. These little 50-30 props are always out of balance, so do take a few moments just to balance it. That will make the flying experience an awful lot better. The servos, I've gone for the, the Turnigy TGA-Y 1440A servos. I know they're not the cheapest, but they've been great. I've only broken one of these so far, and the reason why I broke it is that it came in, I miscaught it, it went over on its back, and it hit the ground, and when it hit, went straight in one of the servos, so I chewed up all the gears. I've put the receiver on the side. The ESC inside is a little 10 amp Turnigy little servo, again from Hobby King, and I run a 400 milliampere 2S battery on the nose. That gets the CG perfect. Also on the underside, the best or the biggest upgrade which you can do is this line here. See this? You get a bit of carbon fiber in the kit, but you also want to put another piece all the way across. So from one side to the other side to make an A-frame in there, because I didn't put that in mine originally and I ended up cracking mine in the wing, which is not unheard of for these rainbow wings, to say the least. So when you put yours together, do put another carbon strip or carbon rod in there, and if you can, because I didn't do that on mine, also do that on the top up here as well. Obviously not on top of the other one. Do offset it by a good ½ inch, and then that will make it more rigid in the sky. Another tip for you is that you definitely do want to put some paint on the bottom. I've gone for grey, pink, and I've gone for grey. That does make it more easily spottable in the sky. And the other tip for you, E6000 glue on the wingtips up here. You'll see, I'll catch this on the light if it would come up on the camera. I put some E6000 glue on the corners of the wingtips, all the way along the leading edge, on around the nose area, and up underneath here. Oh, and where I used Velcro to hold the receiver on, I put some E6000 up underneath as well so that the Velcro would stick to the EPP. So that's my setup with a little rainbow wing. It's not mental, it's not fast, it's not furious, but it's bloody good fun for out the front of the house. And if the weather's good, i.e. there's no wind, I'll do a battery at least, sometimes 3, maybe even 4 batteries out the front. It just gets me that little fix. So Jake, I hope that helps you as well. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm just looking at Leon's chat in there as well. Good morning, Van, by the way. I had a lot of trouble with my Rainbow V2 Elevon hinges being too stiff. In retrospect, perhaps a thin layer of goop on the hinge line was overkill. Yeah, absolutely. The hinges, you do just get a ruler, a very, very sharp blade. Remember, you can take multiple passes at it and then just slowly work your way down until you've got a decent hinge on there. That was probably one of the biggest upgrades for that little wing. So it's a great value wing, but it does need some work, and it is great fun. Like I said, if there's no wind here, I will fly mine every single day. You can. My favorite maneuver is just doing that in front of me. You would be really surprised how tight you can make that wing spin in a circle. It's great fun. And of course, you can spin it in a circle, smash it up into the sky, but make it go north, and then bring it back down and then spin it the opposite way. It will hold down a roll. It flies inverted fine. It's just great fun and cheap. And if I stuff it in a tree or lose it somewhere, I'm not going to cry, you know. So brilliant, brilliant. Joe says E6000, not goop. Leon, if you have goop glue, just use goop glue. That'll be perfectly fine. E6000 is like a thinner version of goop glue. Okay, it's really, really good stuff, and it seems to goop seems to stay on the top of the EPP and make a fantastic bond. E6000 seems to like penetrate the EPP glue and it makes it rubberized. It's quite strange in the way in which it works. It's definitely like a more rubbery finish to it. Other modelers use it inside of battery bays, inside of EPP models to stiffen it up and to make it a little bit stronger. So, but if you don't have any E6000 glue, yeah, just use goop plumbing glue, which the UK national shortage of goop plumbing glue is now over. I've managed to grab myself 4 packs of that recently as well. Yeah, Jamie's just put in the chat, yeah, E6000 is about the same as goop, just a little bit thinner. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, don't say that, Jeff. You'll need a huge, great big box of tissues. Like I said, Thursday is a maiden day, and I'm fingers crossed they all go well. Now, that brings us on to topic number 9. And like I said, I'm doing my best to get through today's RC topics as fast as I can for you. Number 9 is a serious point for the gentlemen out there. Today is Valentine's Day. That means panic stations, as that you may be like something like myself, which has realised, oh, look, it's the 14th of February. That's the day which I got right in the poop last year. So today could be the day for you to buy your missus a wing. Yes, she will absolutely adore you for buying a flying wing. The Twinzoo is a good option for those modelers out there who fancy some twin engine action. That could be good fun. Sorry, I amuse myself at times because I've just realised what I've done. Twinzoo could be a good option for those which like twin motors. Obviously, those ones which like rear action, maybe something like an FG36 or a Texumo or just any other wing at all. And I'm trying to keep a straight face. Yeah, there is now votes in the Facebook group for suggestions on the wings which you can buy your far better half. And also there is a vote in the top right hand corner of this video which you can vote right now on whether a wing is a perfect gift for your missus or not. Yes. No, I'm sure she said wing, not a ring. So yeah, on a serious point, blokes, it's Valentine's Day. you better do something special. And for God's sake, don't buy her a wing. You're going to get him more brown than what I will do with my missus later when special said present turns up later. So yeah, do watch out for that one. Alert, alert, alert. You've got to be on your best behaviour today. Now that also brings us on to nice topic is fingers crossed we have a special guest with us today. If she turns up, there will be an impromptu live session on here on YouTube. It will come out with very, very little warning. I will post it in the Facebook group as soon as I know more. Give you a rough idea, it may be around about 12, maybe 1 o'clock this afternoon UK time, so in a couple of hours time. Okay, so those of you which are in the US, you're probably going to be sleeping for that one. But yeah, we do have a special guest on the way to us. Fingers crossed it arrives today. She arrives today. The last topic... Yes, you could buy her, Joe, you're absolutely right. You could buy her a laminating iron. Brilliant. Joe, why didn't I think of that one? Why didn't I think of that one? Good girl. Good girl. About a wedding wing. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Riff, maybe. Good boy. Maybe with something with 69 written on it. Oh, that is just inspired. You could buy an EF Extra, the red version, because we all know, and that was a proven fact in our community votes, in several community votes, that red is the fastest colour. And yeah, it's just like a rose. It just happens to got clipped wings on it and a mental motor. Brilliant. Oh yeah, it would go for a pusher. Yeah, absolutely. Leon says, I bought her jewellery. Does that mean that I'm allowed to spend the rest of the evening in the workshop? I don't know. You could push your luck and see what happens. Right. The last topic is a massive thank you to Andrew. Now, I'm sure many of you know Andrew from the Facebook group. He is an absolute wealth of knowledge, chipping in here, there, and everywhere. This is, and again, I'm doing a shameless plug for the Facebook group. You've seen it up here in the background for quite a period of time. The links to the Facebook group is in the video description for you. Go across to Facebook, click the join button. One of us will pick up your join request later today. And there is almost, and I say almost, 600 of fellow cool pilots in this Facebook group. And I do mean, yeah, 592 we're up to this morning. Absolutely crazy. What does that mean for me and you? In short, that there's 590, at least 590 other cool pilots in a group where we can chat RC. You know, it doesn't matter if you like fixed wing, flying wings, quads, whatever. If you've got stuck, you've got a question, Facebook group. I use the Facebook group to ask staff questions. The F-22, which turned up here the other day, I was like, what the... The instructions were terrible. Like, it's only got 2 servos, and then I realised you have 2 control push rods coming off the servos. I've not come across that before. So there is no such thing as a daft question. You're amongst friends there in the Facebook group. So if you're stuck or you're struggling or you're not sure, just ask in the Facebook group. There is a huge wealth of knowledge available to you. And Andrew is just one of those characters to make a point. And the reason why I'm making a point for Andrew, and the link to his YouTube channel is in the top right hand corner of the screen, and what he doesn't know about slope storing basically is not worth knowing, is that he gave me a hand. Now I'm going to go and get her because she's here in the office. Now I did say that Thursday is going to be a day of maidens, is because what we've got here is, and you can tell how big it is, that, well, landed, is a Seagull Edge 540. She's gone through her electric conversion, so we didn't come with an engine. So we've put our own one in here. And look at the size of that bad boy. Look at the windings in that one. That is got 100 amp ESC. That is a Turnigy. Let me read this one out. It's a Aerodrive SK3 5045 500. That's rated in hundreds of watts power. Yeah. So Andrew's given me a hand, sorted out the battery bays in here. We will be running this one on 6S with a 15x8 propeller in the nose. Yeah, just got to stick the servos in it. Stick the receiver in it. A couple of screws, and she'll be ready for a maiden. So yeah, and it was Andrew which gave me a hand putting that one apart, together. So Andrew, thank you ever so much. Just dented my desk doing that. Oops. Yeah, Andrew, massive big hat tip for you for giving me a hand with that one. It has been in the cellar for months, and I mean months. And I asked Andrew if he'd give me a hand with it, and he said yes. So we've traded a model for his help as well. So big thank you to Andrew as well. Yeah, the motor is huge. Yeah, you could put a washing machine motor on the front of that one, and it'd probably still fly. But we do need to run it on 6S to get the rippums up on the propeller. I'm sure it'll be fine. But Thursday is maiden day, and I literally do have 5 models to be maidened on Thursday. So to give you a heads up, there will be no RC coffee chat tomorrow because I'm away. Thursday will probably be a quick one because I'll most likely be rushing around trying to get Pacific models fixed and ready to fly on Thursday. The weather looks like okay. We've got 7-8 mile an hour wind, and actually from an odd direction for one of the flying sites which we're going to. But I do have a collection of models here which are due for their maidens, so we'll take the lot up. In fact, I'm a little bit worried that am I going to be able to fit them all in the car? What a good problem to have. So Thursday will be maiden day. Henry says, might need bigger tyres for rough grass. Yeah, I agree with you. The flying site which we're going to is actually it's basically a rugby pitch, so it is going to be a little bit bumpy, but those tyres will be absolutely fine on it. Steve says put some Tundras on it. Yeah, boing. That would be good fun as well. Steve says you should hang on the prop, no problem. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be stupidly overpowered, and yeah, 15x8 prop on that motor, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But she still needs a little bit of work just to get her over the line. So with that said, it's time for us to wrap up. Let me just quickly cover the topics which we went through today. Number 1, there is no RC Coffee Chat tomorrow, and Thursday is going to be a big day. So we've got 5 maidens, we've got lots of video footage to come up in the very, very near future. And of course, I will keep you up to date with the latest frills and hopefully not spills on Thursday over in the FaceBalls group. The Towerpro Servos, which we saw, yes, it is not BS. They are metal gears. They even come with a metal bushing on top of the servos. They're great. That's why I suggest them. And I just wanted that spare one, took it apart. That's exactly what I expected to see inside the servo. So happy days. Cheaper than the cheap Hobby King plastic ones. Brilliant. We then went on to Steve's X8 and his cracking time. He had. We had a live mail session last night. If you didn't see that, that's back on my YouTube channel. We did get a collection of items here arrive. Micro Sky Hunter, we got some motors. Oh yeah. Apparently, these are not the best rated ones, but you've got to give them 10 out of 10 for... Put my hand on there. So, come on, focus. Thank you. Look how sexy that... Come on, focus. He's not doing it. He's having a day off the autofocus. They look really cool. I think they give about 1.4 kilos of thrust on them. And I definitely do now need to go on and buy some of those special RSX motors as well, because they've got 1.6 kilos of thrust. Brilliant. So I'm looking forward to that. So we had a live mail session last night. A link to that, well, that's on the YouTube channel. You can go back and watch the replay on that one. Oh yeah, you've got... If there's only one thing we should do today besides sort your missus out with a Valentine's present, and the go and watch that episode from Spottra 50. Absolutely hilarious. Remember, 6 minutes 20 and 10 minutes 12. All I'm saying is duck. Those guys are just legends. Absolute legends. I really do mean that. Crazy. And I'm still working my way through Spottra 50 at the moment. The missus keeps hitting me because I'm sat in bed laughing my head off when really I should be going to sleep. Then we had the next topic was a proven fact that if you do press the tracking, the refresh button, or press refresh on your item on a tracking website, it does take longer for it to arrive. One of my recent packages has gone AWOL for 8 days. Can you just imagine how many times I pressed refresh to see if it's updated? Apparently 69,000 times. Hey ho. Then we had a very serious point over on import duty. If you are buying from foreign sites and your country does impose import duty, break your order into pieces. Buy the parts individually. So if I bought this and the wings together, that would potentially put me over the threshold limit, which could mean that they would have a valid reason to charge me import tax. But this is free shipping. That was free shipping. So I've just put it into separate orders, and that's what I do with specifically all my Banggood orders. I do the same on GearBest as well. Just take the few minutes extra, could save a big chunky bill when it turns up with you. So yeah, James, that really does suck. But on a positive point, let's take some good away from this. Let's all learn to buy parts individually and go that way instead, so that we don't go into your same pain as well. Tradesman's cleavage, Bleakus. Absolutely. Then we had the mini rainbow wing. I will make a full-blown episode on that wing. I really do like mine. It's not like mental fast. It's not crazy, but it's great fun. Something which I can personally fly at home. And because it only costs like 15 quid, I won't cry if I break it, you know? It's straightforward as that. It's not perfect. As we're finding, not all models are perfect. They all need some tweaks. That one definitely does need some tweaks. But I like it. I really do like it. Just because I can fly it out the front of my house. It's great. I love it. Just for that. Fantastic. And by the way, that's why I bought that little biplane thingy as well, to give that little flight around in the front of the house as well. Then we had topic number 9, which is that it is Valentine's Day. So, gents, you want to be hitting that panic button. Fuck, I haven't ordered anything yet. If those of you in the United Kingdom, Amazon Prime will do same-day delivery. So if you order this morning, chances are it will be with you by this evening to get you out of the brown. Or dare I say, you may actually need to go to a shop and go and see real people in the outside world. And that is not Screwfix for the gents out there. You might have to go somewhere girly, or do what I'm going to do. We're going to go out for a breakfast this morning with the missus once she's finished doing the horse this morning. So have a quick look. Still waiting for Sky Hunter wings. Oh, that sucks. First protocol. Yeah, first protocol. I did notice in my case that the stuff which I did here, that it was like getting to 2 weeks to arrive for me, which is definitely not the norm. From Banggood, it was Chinese New Year, which has delayed things. If that was the 17th of the 12th, what I would do, first protocol for you, is that I would go and get in contact with Banggood support, okay, and say that your item's not arrived yet. Do it today, and then when you say, look, it's still not arrived, as we know, Banggood support is very, very good, and back from the 17th of December, that is a fair amount of time to wait, to be fair. So do go and get in contact with them. Good afternoon, Roderick, as well. Just saying you've been enjoying this. This coffee's still warm. You can always hit rewind, by the way. Topic number 10 is that we do have a special guest. Fingers crossed, everything's crossed. Might turn up today. If she does, very little warning, we will have a live session for the new arrival. Brilliant. And topic number 11 is a massive hat tip to Andrew for giving me a hand with the Seagull Edge 540. Andrew, I sincerely hope that I can do you proud with keeping her in the air and not smashing it into a load of firewood on Thursday. But hey ho, you will see what happens on Thursday because you're going to be flying with me. Good man. Brilliant. So yeah, I really do mean that. Big hat tip to Andrew. And Andrew is just one character amongst so many cool people just like you who are in the Facebook group. So I am going to do another shameless plug. The Facebook group's there. It's free to join, and there is no such thing as a daft question. And please take my examples as guidance for you. There really is no such thing as a daft question. Asking fellow pilots on the flight line for help, or just checking over surface movements and things like that, is not a sign of weakness. It's not anything like that at all. You're just asking someone else for some help to make sure that you don't stuff up, you don't lose that time, the money and the effort you put into a model to ensure that it does fly right the first time. And I've made so many mistakes. I'm going to make so many more mistakes as well. That's why the Facebook group is fantastic, because you can get help pretty quickly, because there's everybody in there from all over the world. So it doesn't matter if you post at 2 a.m. in the morning here in the UK time, chances are someone's going to be up from Australia or New Zealand or in the United States or something like that. Okay, and that's it. That's our topics for today's RC Coffee Chat. I would really like to say thank you for joining me for today's RC Coffee Chat. I really have enjoyed it, and I've done my best to do this in 45 minutes. What's that? A new record for me, 11 topics, 45 minutes. That is good going. Brilliant. Just reading Joke's comment on there. I have 4 packages that I purchased in the last 2 weeks of December, refunded by Banggood in the last week. All went missing in the post. Yeah, I know that Andre has had issues with Banggood as well. A whole raft of stuff has gone AWOL. Because there may be an unknown mail issue, because there's so many people with mail issues, like from all different locations. That does sound like something went on, which we're not privy to. But if you do have orders which have not reached you, get in contact with Banggood support. They're quicker than other hobby-based websites, put it that way. So on that note, but that 4 week was shocking. Yeah, you think you've got, what have you got going on? You've got people buying for Christmas, people buying at Christmas, you've got people buying in January sales, and then you've got Chinese New Year. 4 events which are not good. Yeah. So let's leave this on a positive note, which I think Joe just got nailed on the head. At least you got a refund. Absolutely. Absolutely. So on that note, from myself, Matt, thank you ever so much for joining me here this morning for today's RC Coffee Chat. Remember, there is no RC Coffee Chat tomorrow. There will, or should be, an episode on Thursday morning. And Thursday is Maiden Day, and we've got lots and lots of models to get maidened, and I'll be giving you updates, live updates in the Facebook group on how well things are going, which I hope, fingers crossed, very well. But we'll find out on Thursday. So on that note, from myself, Matt, cheerios! Oh, if you're out flying today, have fun! Oh, and please stick a battery in for me as well, because no flying here today. Well, I might sneak out with a rainbow wing, but yeah, no flying of anything bigger than a rainbow wing today. So if you are out flying today, stick a battery in for me. Very much appreciated. So on that note, I really am going. Cheerios!